Since the season came to an end for the North Dakota hockey team, there's been a big question mark over one of their top talents. But we got our answer this afternoon. The reigning NCHC player and forward of the year, Jackson Blake, will be taking his talents to the professional level. Blake has signed an entry-level contract with the Carolina Hurricanes, the team who drafted him in the 4th round back in 2021. The Hobey Baker finalist has emerged as one of the top scoring threats in the country in his 2 years at UND, including his ridiculous sophomore campaign this past season. He tallied 60 points this year with 22 goals and 38 assists, making him one of just 4 players in the entire country to break 60 points. Blake's contract will start this season and includes a $277,000 signing bonus. One of our homegrown talents has found his new home in the transfer portal. Former Bison Bowden Skunberg announced his commitment to Illinois State today. The Redbirds, who are members of the Ohio Valley Conference, are coming off of a 15-17 season, with one of their wins being over North Dakota State back in December. Skunberg was North Dakota State's leading scorer and rebounder this past season. He's now the 5th member of the roster this year to leave through the portal.